which theory have led to new hunches.
So if it's not a rocky metallic super-Earth, and it's not a gigantic ice ball mega-Pluto, what's left? And the answer is a gas giant. And that strikes me as being the most likely prospect.
When you think about the mass of Planet 9 and where it is now, my best guess is it's something like a miniature version of Neptune.
The gas giant planets are the monsters of our solar system. Instead of a solid surface like the Earth, the gas giants have thick, stormy atmospheres that descend for tens of thousands of miles, shrouding their small rocky cores. Jupiter is the largest gas giant, over 300 times the mass of Earth. Moving out from Jupiter, the gas giants get progressively smaller. Saturn, then Uranus, and finally Neptune, around 17 times the mass of Earth. If Planet 9 is a gas giant, it'll be even smaller, a mini Neptune.
If Planet 9 is a mini Neptune, if it's a lot like Neptune, then it's not really like a terrestrial planet like Earth, but it's not really like a gas giant like Jupiter. Neptune is this weird in-between thing where it's probably got a rocky core, but it's actually mostly what astronomers call ices. It's got methane in it and water and various other substances, and a very, very, very thick atmosphere on top of that.
Neptune's thick clouds are stained blue with molecules of methane. But Planet 9's atmosphere could be transparent.
It's so cold out there, you're getting almost no extra energy from the sun. So that anything heavy in the atmosphere, any heavier molecule, over time would probably fall into the surface. And only the lightest elements, the lightest molecules would stay in your atmosphere. So maybe just almost pure hydrogen or helium. You'd have maybe a really clear atmosphere.
What would a mini Neptune look like that far out from the sun? The thing I think of are things like jellyfish, right? That sort of beautiful translucent look where you're looking through to the innards of the organism. In this case, you might look through to the innards of the planet in some way.
The atmosphere may be transparent.
We're going to try to get this Mercedes MX-5. But we're going to need use and grinding before we can do that.
Looking into the innards of the planet, it would look in some ways like these gorgeous, beautiful deep-sea organisms that are bioluminescent. We may have the planetary equivalent of something like out there in the inky blackness of space rather than the inky blackness of the deep ocean.
Could Planet 9 be a mini Neptune? Surprisingly, the possibility of an extra gas giant in our solar system isn't new. In 2011, scientists attempted to replicate the formation of our solar system using supercomputers. But their model didn't work unless they added an extra gas giant planet to the mix.
So it's really difficult to reproduce our current solar system. But one scientist found that if you add a fifth large planet to our solar system, then that planet will end up getting ejected from our solar system, and you have the planet that we have today.
This Planet 9, the missing gas giant predicted by supercomputers. The computer models show it being ejected by the immense gravity of Jupiter. But the Planet 9 instead came onto our solar system by the tips of its gravitational fingers.
Sometimes our mathematical models predict things that we think are impossible. And for a while, we've known that if you throw a mini Neptune into the mix of planets forming, the models work better. Maybe we found that key, finally, Planet 9.
We know giant planets can roll around. Observers have even seen ejected planets floating free in the space between stars. The Planet 9 almost suffered the same fate.
It's entirely possible that there could have been a planet formed bigger than Earth, something like a super Earth, well on its way to becoming a gas giant, in this wonderful area of the disk where it could have drawn in a lot of material and become a gas giant on Jupiter. Except it got too close to Jupiter before it could do that. It is gravitationally flung away from this wonderful feeding planet out into the much sparser, more barren desert of the outer solar system.
If Planet 9 were the explosion in Neptune stands to the guidelines of the outer solar system, right now it's our best bet. But there is one more option. Some scientists believe Planet 9 may not have formed without our sun at all. Is our most distant planet an alien world snapped from another star? If the mysterious Planet 9 exists, it's by far the most distant planet in the solar system, nearly 20 times farther out than Neptune. So how did we get there? Was it made out of ice, or was it thrown out from the inner solar system as a rocky secret, like a rocky or mini Neptune? The jury's out, but there is another option, and it's out of the world.
So the question is then, where did it come from if neither of these things is right? And it's possible that there is another explanation, and that is that Planet 9 is an alien visitor from outer space.
The sun is just one of 200 billion stars orbiting the supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy. Most of the stars probably have multiple planets, and scientists now believe that from time to time two stars might pass a little too close for comfort. The result, planetary death.
We know that the sun moves around in the galaxy. We know that there are other stars in other solar systems. Is it possible that the sun passed so close to another solar system that it's still a planet?
Today, our sun drifts through space alone, like a yacht in the open ocean. But that wasn't always the case. Rewind the clock 4.6 billion years, and our local star cluster was a much more crowded place. Ideal conditions for Planet 9 to jump ship.
The sun was born in a nursery with thousands of other stars. Just like the boats in this harbor, there are so many boats around, so many neighbors. It was like that for the young sun.
Stars like the sun are born in stellar nurseries, vast clouds of gas that collapse to form tens of thousands of stars, all tightly packed together. A solar-centric telescope that inside this once-conceived playground of stars, our sun's gravity could have stolen Planet 9 from a passing neighbor.
Imagine this cool scenario. You've got an alien star, and around that star forms a planet. This is Planet 9. Here comes the sun whizzing by. The sun gets so close that it steals Planet 9 on its way out into the galaxy.
It sounds like science fiction, but our science may already have a criminal record.
There's some evidence that the comets in our solar system may not have started in our solar system. We may have stolen comets from other stars. If that's the case, it's not totally outrageous to think that a planet that formed around another star somehow made its way into our solar system and became part of our planet.
But if Planet 9 really did come from another star, how will we know for sure that it's an alien visitor?
Let's do it. Essentially a DNA test on Planet 9. Scoop up some of its surface and look for material that we absolutely know couldn't have formed around our sun because we don't see it anywhere else in our solar system.
We may even have to send a probe there to really get a read on that and find out what its chemical composition is, exactly everything we can find out about its orbit. And that way we might be able to see if there are any sort of fingerprints, smoking gun pieces of evidence that'll say clearly this formed here or it formed there.
Before we can launch a probe to Planet 9, we first have to find it. Astronomers like Mike Brown have made the challenge a little easier, using math to narrow down the hunt zone.
What we know right now is that Planet 9 is in a swath of the sky that goes about like this. About this big, goes across like this. So we think we even know a little bit better. We pinpointed, or at least slightly constrained where it is, to a patch of sky that's about this big. It's still a lot of sky to look at, but it's a lot less than having to look at the whole sky.
Mike's patch of sky is close to the constellation of Orion. He's going to wait until fall, when Orion is the highest in the sky, to search for Planet 9 using the Subaru infrared telescope on Hawaii. The telescope is fine-tuned to pick out the faint heat signature of distant objects against the cold backdrop of deep space. Planet 9 may be frozen, but it will be warmer than space. That tiny difference in temperature is all this incredible telescope needs.
We want to see two pictures taken in the same area of the sky, weeks apart. The stars don't move, but you see this wonderful thing moving as you watch the picture back and forth. That's what happens when you have an object moving around the sun against the background stars. That's how Pluto was discovered. That's how we're going to find Planet 9 if it exists.
It could take years to find Planet 9, but when we do spot it, scientists will be able to analyze its black matter and see within that faint glow will be the chemical signature for X, or gas. If they do, Planet 9's identity will finally be revealed. What lies in store beyond that is a mystery. But perhaps the most exciting prospect is Planet 9 to return to a planetary moon. It's just possible one of these moons without a home for life 100 billion miles from the sun.
Historically, we've always thought of moons as being these little insignificant places. But the incredible thing is they may be the best places to find life. In our solar system alone, there may be far more chances for life on moons of planets than there are on planets themselves.
Moons excite astrobiologists because they can sometimes support liquid water, no matter how far they sit from the sun. The key is something called tidal heating. Moons on elliptical orbits get squashed and squeezed by the gravity of their parent planet. This generates heat and melts ice to form underground oceans of liquid water, the key ingredient for life as we know it. If Planet 9 is as big as scientists predict, it could have multiple moons. And perhaps one of these moons could have warm, salty oceans primed for simple life.
So if you have Planet 9 and it's got icy moons, and these icy moons are on the right kinds of orbits, the heat could be coming from within and not without. And so the sun basically doesn't matter.
You could have liquid water below the surface that's heated from the internal geology. You could have geysers of water, what we see coming off of moons around Saturn and Jupiter. You could have that all the way out there at Planet 9.
Imagine Planet 9 with a system of giant moons. The closest moon is heated to melting point by Planet 9's immense gravity. There's no life here. Any water boiled away millions of years ago, creating a hot, arid ball of rock. Farther out lies a second giant moon. This new world is encased in bright white water ice. But the crust hides a secret, a vast ocean of warm liquid water heated by volcanic vents on the ocean floor. This hidden world is rich with active organic chemistry, and it could even support a weird alien zoo of pale aquatic creatures.
We associate life with the sun. That's how we think of life originating on the Earth. But we don't just live in the sun. We have two worms at the bottom of the ocean which live off of hydrothermal vents. They get all the chemicals and the heat they need from